Hey everybody, I thought I'd give you my thoughts and impressions on the new Spyderco Techno. It's a designed by Polish knife maker Marcin Slis. It's a stout knife, really good quality, and I hope you enjoy the overview. Okay, let's get right into the overview of the Spyderco Techno. This is along the lines of Spyderco's Little Big Knife category. Knives like the Man Bug and the Ladybug series, the Jester, are in that series. And I think that the Techno is probably the best embodiment of the Little Big Knife category from Spyderco to date. The idea is that it's a small form factor with the cutting performance and the toughness of a much larger knife. And that's pretty much exactly what the Techno is right here, I think. The design is a titanium handle scales, both sides, with a Reeve integral lock. It's got the wire pocket clip, and you've got a backspacer here, which is in blue G10, which I think is really attractive. Oddly enough, in all the pictures that I had seen of the Techno, it's always from this angle, or this angle, or this angle, but they never really show the backside of the knife in any pictures. And so I never really realized that it had this blue backspacer until I saw the knife in person at my knife shop. And I actually really like that feature. So, you know, that's one of the things that kind of drew me to this knife. One of the other characteristics that I really like about it is the stonewash finish on the handle slab and also the blade. But these handles are pretty unique to me with this heavy stonewash, and it gives it a really nice texture, which is really smooth. It's not like a Chris Reeve Sebenza with their Media Blast, which I also like, but which has a little bit more texture to it and is also more prone to scratching. Of course, with the stonewash finish, it already has kind of this scratch pattern, so it's going to hold up really well and not really show wear. And you really just have to hold this knife to appreciate how it feels in the hand with the rounded or the beveled edges and this nice stonewash finish. Along the lines of ergonomics, it is a small knife, but I can definitely get a nice strong four-finger grip on the knife. It has kind of a small choil right here in front of this scoop, which fits the finger really nicely and gives you a nice point of reference to put that first finger to get a nice grip. And then you do have some nice rounded jimping on the spine here, which isn't super grippy, but it does feel nice in the hand. Also, the blade itself features this little swoop on the spine, which does give your thumb a nice place to rest if you're doing some fine work or choking up, or you want a little additional leverage on the blade right there. That does work nicely. The blade itself is CTS XHP, which is a carpenter steel. They've put it on a couple of sprint runs in the past. It's what's considered a super steel in that it has a lot of toughness and edge holding ability. It's also a stainless steel, and so far it's holding up really well. I've done quite a bit of cutting with this knife, and I haven't really noticed any edge degradation. It's still nice and sharp. It came super sharp from the factory. You can see it's made in the Taichung, Taiwan factory, and every knife that I've personally purchased from Spyderco that's come from the Taiwan factory has had really good fit and finish, and the Techno is no exception to that. So nice and smooth action. You can just see that everything is nicely machined. It's got a really smooth feeling to it. It has a nice bevel around all the edges. Everything lines up nicely. You can see the backspacer there. It's just a really attractive design in my opinion. It is more of a right-hand opening knife than for lefties, based on this this cutout, which is really nice on this side and gives you full access to the whole opening mechanism. But on the other side, it's blocked by the frame lock, so you only really get about half of the opening hole there to try to get into, which is kind of a bummer for lefties. But I'm a right-handed person, so it's not been a problem for me using it right-handed. The knife does flick out nicely, which is, you know, something that isn't terribly important to me, but it is kind of, you know, a nice to know, I guess. Let's see what else. Just a really awesome knife, and there you can have a look at the logo there from the Polish designer Marcin Slis. Kind of looks like an Anso logo there, like a Wolverine claw. So it is different than Anso. It's not like a copy, but it's kind of cool. Yeah, blade centering is really great, and it's ground exceptionally thin for such a thick knife. You can kind of see at that angle that it's just really thin. And then it is a 4.5mm blade stock, which is nice and stout. The lockup is awesome on this knife. You can see that there. It's about 20%. Just where I like it, actually. I wouldn't really want it much earlier than that. And there's absolutely no play at all. This is like a tank, I guess you'd call it. I mean, for lack of a better word. So it's just a nice small EDC knife that it's really well built. Okay, now I just want to give you a little size comparison. So here's the Spyderco Techno with the Chris Reeve small Sabenza. Okay, so it's a little bit smaller lengthwise, but it's also has a higher profile, I would say. Okay, and the Chris Reeve small Sabenza has a little bit longer blade. So there's that comparison for you. Here's another one that you might, a lot of people might be familiar with, is the Spyderco Delica. This one's in orange FRN. So the Delica is quite a bit larger than the Techno. It's just longer, and definitely you get a little bit longer blade here too. But you know, the difference in the cutting edge, they have about the same cutting edge, because the Delica has this little part here, I don't know what that's called, it's just the blade to the cutting edge right here. It definitely has a little bit more of that than the Techno, which starts almost right away with the sharpened cutting edge. And here's one more small knife, which is the Cold Steel Mini Tough Light. And this is just a really small package here with the Cold Steel. It's a little bit smaller than the Techno overall. And the blade is much smaller. The Tough Light just has this tiny, less than 2 inch, it's like just over 1.5 inches, I think, little Wharncliffe cutting edge there. Just makes it a really great utility knife, but yeah, it's a small blade. So that's one of the things I really like about the Techno, is just that it's small, but it really packs a lot of performance and usability into a small package. And it's just a rock solid knife. It has great fit and finish. It feels awesome in the hand, and a lot of cutting edge there for a relatively small blade. So I would definitely recommend it. It's an awesome knife. So hope that you enjoyed this little video. Please go ahead and leave a comment if you want to leave a comment about the video or about the knife or have any questions. If you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Go ahead and like the video too. That'd be nice. I'd like to see that. But anyway, just wanted to show you this knife, and everybody take care. See you on the next video.